WeAreArcade.com presents the Anime UK podcast with the SSRS.
You're listening to the Anime UK show presented by Aisha, Harriet and Alex, featuring news, reviews and discussion from the world of anime, manga, gaming and otaku culture.
Anime UK is brought to you by WeAreArcade.com. You can find us there every Friday.
You can also like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter at Anime UK Show, as well as subscribing to us on iTunes and YouTube. Don't forget to rate, comment and keep sending us your lovely questions. Hey, welcome to episode 12 of Anime UK Show. This is Aisha and I'm with Harriet, Oren and a special guest. Greetings. He's a brony of 2 years, the head developer of the Outflanks card game and greeter of the UK, how do I say it? Equestria forums. So, we'll go into the usual and we'll be having a special brony feature during the show as well.
Now, as we mentioned, Greetings is a brony from the UK community. We also have an interview with Dusty Katt, Screwball and Moon. But for now, Greetings, can you tell us a little about how the fandom and how you got into it?
Yes, well, the fandom is quite amazing. I'm part of the forum UK of Equestria. I'm actually the greeter now. The way in which I began, though, is I just was generally browsing anime like any other normal person we know of, and I kept on coming across links to My Little MLP Film, Episode 1, Part 1. Sure, I saw all anime characters in the corner. I was thinking, that's interesting, and as I kept on continuing along with the anime I was watching, I kept on seeing more and more recommendations to go to My Little Pony. And eventually one of my friends recommended it, and thank God he did. I ended up clicking on the link and liking what I saw. My Little Players open with a fairly dark storyline, but after the first 2 episodes, it brightens up to something much more than that. Gives you a true definition of friendship and all around this magic, I guess.
So guys, what animes have you been watching?
King of Thorn.
Yay! King of Thorn! Right, so, Harriet, do you want to tell us what it's about?
Okay, based in the future, I believe. I forget the date. I'm terrible with dates.
2047, I think it was.
Oh, lovely. A plague known as the Medusa is slowly taken over the world, where it turns people to stone within like days within a few hours. And basically, people kind of sign up to go to this cryogenic chamber where they sleep for, I think it's 100 years, and so hopefully that the virus will be cured for them. When they wake up, though, however, it's as if the earth is taken over, literally. There's thorns everywhere, dinosaurs take over, and they just have to try and find their way to escape and find out what the heck is going on.
Just to throw in, it was only 160 people that got picked to do this, and they were picked either at random or they had to be really rich to be involved. Carry on.
That's basically, the storyline. It's, cause I read the manga first before I watched the movie, and, I have to say, I read the manga, but I preferred the manga. I didn't like the movie.
Oh, how so?
The storylines are different.
Oh, wow, they actually changed it.
They actually changed, yeah. I mean, in the movie, in the manga there's a main evil character. I don't want to spoil it, but they're not in the movie. So it kind of takes away, some of the story, so to speak. I mean, I know there's 37 chapters, so to make it into a 2-hour movie was always going to be difficult. And the endings are different as well. So it's kind of what you watch first and then what you read after and vice versa. But I preferred the manga to the movie. But the movie, I suppose if you're, like I said, if you've watched it and you want to go back to the manga, then I suggest that. But to me, I just preferred the manga.
I guess it's a typical OVA, really. It's taken the idea and it's pulled something completely different out of it. Well, not something completely different, but you know what I mean. They've changed like various factors. I like the fact that there was a lot of Greek mythology in there, with the whole Medusa virus, and then you had the Venus Gate, you had the hacker, Zeus in there as well. I quite like a bit of history, so I was quite interested in it. I think there's definitely a lot more detail in the manga, a few more interesting factors. You're right. It would have probably been a lot better if they just kept it as a series, an anime series.
Yeah.
But, 2-hour movie, definitely. I was a bit like, no, this was rushed. There needs to be more. It's too interesting to be squished into a 2-hour movie.
Yeah, no, I didn't. I watched it just recently, and I was just sitting there going, wait a minute. I know because I tend to watch stuff before I read it. I would suggest you watch it and then you read it. It's like, when I saw Akira, I watched it and then I read the manga. So I appreciated the animation for what it was before going, oh, none of this makes no sense. None of the stuff that happened in the manga happens in the, movie. Cause I feel like that does detract away from it, cause, it wasn't a bad movie. It was a bit weird, I guess, after knowing everything, what happened in the manga. But,
I had as well, and I have the thing of, does this match with that? And, oh, I see how this falls into it, but wait a minute, that doesn't fall into it. I'm terrible for that. So I should have watched the movie first, then read the manga, but...
To be fair, the manga was out a fair bit before 2002, so you probably would have come across it straight away and just wanted to read it.
Yeah, and then it was, with the manga, it was a lot more atmospheric, I felt, than because with the movie, it had all of the, not Snow White, Sleeping Beauty, all this, like, fairy tale nonsense.
Sleeping Beauty is a very interesting point. I mean, I found the surreal elements stored within it were actually very, very compelling throughout the time. It really did go along with the animation style.
Yeah. Especially with the fawns.
Yeah. That's why I like the similarity to that and, to the fawns and the story, because the lady kept on, one of the characters, Catherine, kept on talking about, she was like reading it all the time. To herself.
Oh, Rapunzel at one point, I remember.
Yeah, it was very bizarre. But, next to the manga, which seemed, very, desolate and, no hope a lot of the time. And you thought every couple of seconds someone was gonna die. And, that is it was very strange, because it seemed a lot more like a fairy tale with the film than it ever did with the manga. The manga seemed like more of a horror, desolate kind of future kind of thing. It's very strange.
Actually, I would say it has a real fairy tale complex there, actually, because, most original fairy tales, the original story behind it is very dark. Yeah. So I'd say it's more based on, an original fairy tale than the altered ones by Disney.
Oh, yeah. I would like to see a Disney film, which is a lot darker, actually.
Like the original Snow White and Seven Dwarfs, there's a really dark ending in there what I'm not even going to talk about, because I'm sure a lot of people have even come across it.
and obviously, Little Mermaid and stuff like that. They're all kind of, the grim fairy tales. They all have bad endings.
Yep.
That's why we don't see it, because the children, that's not gonna, children are not gonna like that.
Why doesn't anyone think of the children?
I have to interrupt there. Oren, how did you feel about the fight scenes, the gruesome killing scenes?
Well, they were so great in the manga. They had this whole fight sequence at the end, and there was crazy god cat creatures, and it was just insane. But, there wasn't that much fight. There wasn't that much fighting there.
There's just a lot of eating of
there's a lot.
And beheadings and...
I didn't... I just didn't like what's it called? The 3D of the monsters at all.
It looked really weird. A bit fake, actually, like a mask, I felt.
Yeah.
And then sometimes when it popped out, I was like, what is this, a flowing head? And it's an actual dragon or something.
And it kind of blended in with the characters as well. I think when they were shooting at them, you could see that they turned 3D as well. I found that very
unnerving.
It really went in with the style, though. I mean, they have been now. I mean, the company that produced it does produce a lot of movies that kind of go back and forth from 2D to 3D. And I like how they do tend to stick with their style, as it really does enhance the feel that you're watching their movie and not someone else's.
Yeah, I guess for compositing reasons, maybe doing 2D animation, 3D animation, like overlay, might be a lot more hassle than just doing it all in 3D. I would have preferred if they would have picked one or the other.
Yeah, same as the King of Pigs complex we had. It was a bit unnecessary, really. It's like, why are you kind of wasting your time doing that?
Well, I guess, like, animating 3D, once you got your figure down and you got your rigging, then it may be less time consuming than animating frame by frame and then having clean up and then coloring and then compositing and then figuring out if the colors are right and all that kind of stuff. So I can understand why they do it. It's just, like from the original drawings in the manga of what the dinosaur dragon creatures looked like to what they were in the film, I was a little bit disappointed, tiny bit.
Agreed.
Yeah, I was as well.
I mean, the actual creatures, they just seem to lack a complete lack. I mean, there's a complete lack of imagination and thought gone through that.
It's true.
Yeah.
I mean,
I was more scared by the spit than anything else. Just draw everywhere.
They could have made them look a hell of a lot more menacing or added to the effect, but I think they decided to keep them down low for budget purposes.
Yeah. A few more textures and they would have been beautiful.
Very much so. It's always that case, a few more textures or a few more pounds.
Yeah.
Well,
Probably...
I guess in their terms, dollars.
I would say, watch it first and then read it, because then you'll be like, wow, this is amazing. With the whole, like, different take on it. I guess, like, another example of that for me was, do you know Full Metal Alchemist? Like, I watched the original series first before I read the manga, and I really appreciated the original series, even though the ending was different and everything. But then when I did go and read the manga, I had all of that, I was really pumped from watching the, anime, and had all the voices in my head, all the colors, all the really cool fight sequences. So then when I did go to the manga, I could envision it more like the anime, I guess. And all the music and everything like that. But, I appreciated the manga, I guess, a lot more with watching the animation first. But I felt like if I've read the manga and then watched the animation, I would have been like, oh, this is rubbish. Why did I even bother watching this?
Yeah, it's good that you've got something to compare to.
Yeah. That's what I'm going to do next time. Anime and manga.
One point that we've mentioned in past episodes, how we feel that the animes are a little bit narrow-minded when it comes to the people. It was refreshing to see that you actually had a British character in there, you actually had a black character in there, you had a German character in there, and it was a lot to take in, I guess, because there were so many weird accents going around, but it felt a bit more real. Yeah. It wasn't just set in Japan.
I mean, but some anime today, I think we're actually progressing a bit on the lines, but unfortunately we're also taking huge step backs in the idea of having racially diverse character casts or characters in anime. For example, Talia, I mean, that pretty much just ruins the whole feel. I mean, yes, we've got racial diversity, but at the same time, you've got stereotypes that go too far.
Yes. Oh man. I did enjoy, like, that they did at least bother to do accents, even if the Japanese characters just sounded American, which was a bit strange. And even the British guy was like very fake Cockney-esque voice.
Yeah, you can tell he was putting it on, yeah.
Yeah, I was very pleased that they at least attempted to try and create something. Yeah, Hitalia, don't even get me started on Hitalia.
Yeah. I just wish they had a Jewish character in there. That would have made me, I'd be rolling the floor laughing as a Jew myself. That show. Jewish humour is always the funniest.
Greetings. What are some of your favourite animes?
One of my favourite ones of all time, I'd have to say, would be When They Cry or Hikanor no Morokai.
Yes!
Due to the great intense emotions portrayed in it, the accuracy to the manga, and the complex and convoluted storylines at times. But at the same time, it all adds up to the overall effect of just amazement.
Okay, do you want to explain a little bit what it's about, just in case our listeners haven't watched it before?
Okay, When They Cry is about a small town of Higurashi, wasn't it?
I do.
I'm bad with names.
Never mind.
Basically, it evolves around one plot line that keeps them going from different points of views and recurring over time, with different outcomes and different situations. A bit like a multiple universe theory and paradox, where it does get explained that way in the follow-up series. But
is Hinamizawa?
Yeah, Hinamizawa, that was it.
Yeah.
I was way off.
Rush is the name of the show.
Yeah, I'm bad with names. Photographic memory, perhaps barely of images. Dyslexia counts as the other bit.
I have to say, I do love Higurashi.
I
watched the anime, and I literally watched it from start to finish, and then I watched the second series start to finish, and brilliant series. But you have to watch both seasons though.
Well, actually, there's 3 seasons. The third one's terrible, though.
Oh yeah, that one I avoided.
Yeah, actually, another favourite anime of mine, I would have to say, would be maybe Gantz, due to sheer accuracy to the manga. I mean, even the movie had so much accuracy to the manga that it was unbelievable.
Oh, I've watched quite a bit of the anime, but I got a bit about the girl with the big boobs.
Yeah, I just found it funny.
Yeah, it was just a bit with her and the dog, and then the delinquents.
I know.
It's like, oh god.
I hate myself for it. At the same time, I love it due to its stupidness.
Yeah,
stupidity, even.
That's half the charm.
Hey, you're talking to a brony, so I have a lot of charm then.
Yeah, I haven't checked out the live action film yet. I actually want to check that.
The live action film was just amazing. Some parts of it could have been produced a lot better, but most of it was bang on to the manga.
Oh, okay.
There wasn't much hype on the live action movie, actually, was there?
No, I was actually very disappointed. I actually bought both the two movies at the MCM Expo in London last year.
Yeah.
They're only £5, but I thought, oh my god, you've got to be kidding me.
Bargain! Buy it.
Yeah, it's bargain, but at the same time, why fandom?
You win some, you lose some. I just don't think they publicised it that much. I think it passed by so many people. Even I watched it and people were like, oh, that doesn't exist. Yes, it does. I watched it.
The problem was the company that produced it spent so much money on effects and the actors that when it came around the time of advertisement, they had nothing left to spend.
Oh.
They only had £1,000 budget.
It's on Facebook.
They only had an equal to about a £3,000 budget when it actually came to producing the advertisement.
Oh wow.
The Kickstarter wasn't around when they started that.
Oh, you're right.
Maybe they should have put it down on Starter instead. Or maybe keeping something intact so we can actually get some money off of this as Starter.
Oh, I have to check it out. I think we can sell it at the store that I work at. So
what do you lot think about E3 this year?
Oh god, I'm still recovering. Sleep more than anything.
I don't think I took it as seriously as everyone else. Everyone else is like breathing hot air after E3. I'm just a bit like, whoa, look at the games coming out. Yeah.
Seriously, I took it. I've written so many notes. My notebook is literally full.
I'm lucky I had diabetes already before I watched it. I mean, to be honest, this is a reaction I feel that everyone had. Everyone hated it, but at the second point, everyone debated which one was the best console. And the third point, everyone's going to buy a console, except the Xbox One, because that looks like shit.
It would be already ascertained way before E3.
Yeah. Oi, no, the PS4 is going to be better. Nah, the Xbox One's going to be much better, mate. Get out.
I think they made the joke. I think there was so many jokes going around of who's going to win, like E3, PlayStation or Xbox, or they're going to get an ambulance. Wii U, you know.
Oh, nice one.
I watched all of them. Yeah, I stayed up till 5 a.m. Tuesday morning to watch PlayStation. But to be honest, it was actually worth it just to hear the reaction from the crowd.
Yeah.
In regards to some things that PlayStation will have that Xbox One will not. And literally just beating Microsoft in the face with a fish. Literally, ha ha ha, this is what we can do and you can't, you know.
Well, I think it was more on the lines of the PS company, Microsoft, whatever, is coming along going, you know what, here's a gun, go shoot yourselves, we're the winner. And at the same time, the other was going, you bought a gun to a bazooka fights. What were you thinking?
Heck, even Nintendo had a good run this time, and it was just a video conference. It wasn't really
yeah.
displaying anything.
What were they thinking?
I know.
I mean, they were completely mad, but at the same time, it works. I don't understand it.
It did actually work, and even Microsoft were probably thinking, oh dear, hang their heads in shame.
You know what they say, subtlety's the key. But at the same time, you must have a mind to go to be subtle.
Yes. But, yeah.
Making logistical sense.
That's true. I think the biggest surprise, I mean, like I said, I watched, the biggest surprise for me was, let me go through my notes. I think Kingdom Hearts was the biggest.
Yes.
shocker.
Wait, what was that?
Kingdom Hearts.
Why is that?
I missed that. So they're releasing Kingdom Hearts?
Yes,
Yeah.
they're releasing it on the PS4.
Oh, I'm going to have to buy one of those.
Exactly.
I know. I mean, I wrote up 2 articles based on Microsoft and Sony's conference. They're on wearearcade.com. So if you want to have a read of them in regards to everything that happened and pictures and whatnot, go on there. And yeah, because Kingdom Hearts is coming onto Xbox One and PS3, and my Facebook went mental afterwards.
Oh.
It used to be a PlayStation exclusive, right?
It used to be, yeah. Now it's moved on to Xbox, which
What is this?
I know.
Well, it's a Disney game, so technically it belongs to Disney and only Disney. Disney just owns the world, so everyone gets caught in the crossfire.
But what else was there? But yeah, Kingdom Hearts, I wasn't expecting that, and obviously Final Fantasy Versus is now 15.
Oh, is it 15?
Yes, now renamed it 15.
Is that good or bad?
I suppose it's good. I think it gives it its proper name and a definitive textbook, I suppose, that it's now down in history of chronological order, I suppose. But what was it? Tetsuya Nomura actually presented the trailer, and then he said, oh, I have one more surprise for you, and then you saw like flashbacks to Kingdom Hearts, and then Sora picking up a brand new Keyblade.
Yay!
And you just think, oh boy, it's actually happening.
Yeah.
For all the bronies out there, just insert a Flussier right here.
And obviously they showed trailers for new games on Xbox One and PlayStation for that are coming out, new features in regards to what's happening. We know what's happening with Xbox One, but PS4 are going to have like movies. They're developing stuff for PS4, and excuse me. And I think they said there were 140 games that they're making, and 40 of them are going to be exclusive to PlayStation 4.
Yeah.
So a lot of games will be between Xbox and PlayStation, and I don't know. The price difference, I think, was the key as well.
Yeah, it's like £100 less.
Well, I think, yeah, 80 quid.
Oh yes, big difference. They undercut Xbox One by loads.
Like £80, yeah, because Xbox is $429, PlayStation is $349. Even though it comes out, I think, Christmas, but still, it's a great price for it to come out, because I think that's what the original PlayStation 3 was. At least 3.
I'd like to see those letters to Santa. Santa Claus, I want an Xbox One. Seriously.
Said no one
What
ever.
are we talking about here?
But,
What do you mean you want the PlayStation 4?
I think the PlayStation 3 was £500.
was it?
Because I actually got one on release day.
Oh whoa, you're hardcore.
I missed school because of it. I had a school trip, and like halfway, I went to the cinema. It's like, oh, what's that in that big, like we were doing media studies, so we were watching some indie films, and I just had this big bag with me, and they're like, oh, what's this? I thought you said you had to go to the dentist. I went, yeah, I did. And then I got my PlayStation.
Can you imagine them releasing a Fallout 4, and just in the opening scene when the guy's walking out into the wasteland, you just see an Xbox One lying somewhere on the grounds.
It will happen. Another surprise, actually. Killer Instinct.
Oh.
Totally was not expecting that.
I knew this for ages. Was this like the biggest shock for everyone? Every time I mentioned this at the podcast as well about Killer Instinct, that it was going to happen, and everyone was like, no, it's not going to happen. And then when it happened, it's like, oh my god, we didn't see this coming. Yes, you did. Me.
I know. I'm terrible. Bad memories. But
yeah.
I don't think it's being produced by Rare.
Oh, I know, but that's not. What is that such a big deal though?
But to others who kind of grew up with the game, I think that they're still sticking with the format, especially with ultra combos and stuff like that.
Yeah, and obviously they're going to jazz it up and make it look super sexy for 2000 and whenever it's coming out.
Yeah.
Yeah, so in other words, they sort of stick flashing lights everywhere and try and put in as many Fallout references as possible.
Yes,
being
exactly. Exactly.
Because we all know there's only one true Wasteland game, and they go try and make into that. Even though it's not set in that time.
I've never actually played Killer Instinct.
I've actually never played it either, I just know a ton
Oh,
of
it's a fighting game.
Oh, it's a fighting game. Yeah, I played number 2.
Retro.
Okay.
Killer Instinct 2 was the one, because it was out on the SNES, wasn't it?
Yep.
And, yeah, I really liked it. Who was my favourite character? The female. I forget her name. Violet, is it? I can't remember her name. She had the bows, and she, there goes my gaming knowledge out the window. But I do remember playing as a child. And I remember
one thing to me is go make every console obsolete, really. It's just the new Super Smash Brothers.
Yes.
I mean, come on. We're still playing Brawl today because it's such an awesome game. Can you imagine what the new one's going to be like? It's going to basically be God in a multiplayer version. Hey,
Okay, I wouldn't get that
now.
far.
You play it, and you shall receive.
And plus, it's on 3DS and Wii U. 3DS, I'm mega happy about. I love Smash
I think
Bros.
that's quite fun on Hopefully. That's something that probably we've been waiting to see, actually.
Yeah. And you see that they've announced 3 new characters.
Yes.
What, for Super Smash Bros. Brawl? I have not seen that.
There is the villager from,
No, I don't want to
Oh, okay.
Okay. You know what?
Technically, every brony here is going to say it should have been Rainbow Dash in the lineup.
Is Rainbow Dash in the lineup?
No.
No,
No!
But there is a
It
female.
will be there in my heart.
There's a female and 2 males, so we'll just leave it at that.
You can't really tell in any of these games anyway. I mean, half the men look like women. To be honest. I mean, if you didn't know Pit was a man from Kid Acres, whatever the game was called, you would probably presumed it was a woman.
Very beautiful man.
Very, very sensuous wings.
I did think Moth was a lady for quite a while, but then I found out it was a guy. I was like, oh okay.
Yeah. I mean, if you didn't grow up with the game, sometimes you just wouldn't know. It's the same with many animes, you know? I mean, you see a character, half the time you're debating whether it's a man or woman. Especially the transvestite one, you're thinking, oh my god, I have no idea what's going on here. Is that a man? Is that a woman? What the hell? What's happening?
Yeah.
Oh.
What else? With Nintendo, actually, like we said, they only did a brief interview, but still, they came out with some good stuff. They came out with Wind Waker HD. They showed gameplay of that. What else? There's a new type now in Pokemon, which is a fairy type. I think there's only 4 Pokemon that are fairies now. If I remember rightly, it is Gardevoir, the new Eevee evolution, Marill, and I forgot the 4th one. There's only 4 at the moment.
Really? I mean, that's just ridiculous. That's like releasing a rocket launcher that fires harpoons.
Unless they're going to release more news, I have no clue. And what else? And
Clefairy would be one. Clefairy would probably be one. Or
It was pink. I do remember. I don't know if it's Clefairy or Chansey.
Have they used Clefairy before?
No, it must be Mudkip, because we all know there's only one name that really brings out the fandom.
Mudkip. Of course, Mudkip.
Yep.
And I think now you're on Tamagotchi on the Pokemon on X.
Oh my god.
Yes.
Yeah!
Just complete face-offs.
It's like, remember when you could, not when the Pokemon, I think it's when the Pokemon followed you. It's like,
that was Pokemon Yellow.
Yeah, Pokemon Yellow and I think Sapphire.
Oh, they have that in Sapphire as well.
I think, yeah, in the later ones, one of the Pokemon followed you. It was who was the top of your leader party. But in this one, I think now, to cheer them up, you don't have to do them, just one. You can do them all one by one. Like, look after them, feed them, pet them, whatnot. So that it encourages their love for you and just makes them grow stronger in battle. Yeah, I know.
Is that what we really want to do, though? I mean, you don't have Pokemon to have pets. You have Pokemon to have weapons. I mean, Pikachu is basically a laser gun of some sort, you know? You don't have a laser gun to love. You have a laser gun to fight with.
Some people do love their guns, though.
Yes, true.
Son of guns.
Love their guns more than anything else. Earlier on this week, Harriet did an interview with a few bronies, Dusty Katt and Screwball from Stay Brony, my friends, and with Moon, who is a well-known artist within the pony community.
Sorry in advance for the echoing during the interview. You've gotta love technology. Enjoy!
Here it is.
Hello there. Today I will be interviewing 3 people within the Brony community. Thank you very much for joining me. Would you please like to introduce yourselves?
Okay, I'll go first. I am Screwball. I am Dusty Katt's co-host / IRC moderator.
And I am Dusty Katt. I'm also known as the manliest brony in the world, and I do a podcast, live stream show, with Screwball called Stay Brony, my friends, on Everfree Network.
And I'm Moon. I'm just one of the community artists.
Okay. Again, thank you very much for joining me. How did you all get into My Little Pony?
Go for it, Moon.
All right. Well, it was a long time ago, a couple years ago. I'd heard they'd done a reboot of it, and people started saying it was, should be something I should try to watch, and I just saw more and more of it, so I eventually gave it a go, started watching it, and after the first few episodes, it just kind of took off from there. I kept watching them and kept going until I was out of episodes to watch.
For me, it was, I worked with my good friend Skipsy at a photo lab, and I used to be a furry at that time, so when he came up to me, I ran into this show with Color Equine, I was like, what? I do not really fully understand, so he invited me to go over to his place, and our first episode was Ghostbusters, which I just almost instantly was sold, and I just kept coming back to his house over and over and over again, and then he's like, you know what, I'm sick of you coming over, I'm just gonna give you the files and you watch them at home. So I put them on my iPod, and every night I would continuously watch. Season 2 approached, and I was addicted right there.
For me, I was actually introduced to it by some friends of mine after a late night AD&D game, and artists, and we've been in different fandoms for years, mostly for sci-fi, and they know what I like, and I know they're all artists that say, hey, you need to watch the show, So at 1 in the morning, we sit down and start watching the season 1 premiere, and we just watched and by the time 4:30 in the morning rolled around, I was pretty much hooked.
Okay, cool. For those, actually, if they're living under a rock, I don't know where they've been, but can you explain what a brony is?
Sure. Brony is sort of a amalgamation of the two terms bro and pony, and you put them together, it's a brony. That's basically what it is. But anyway, if you want to get technical about it, it's anybody, male or female, who happens to be fan of the TV show My Little Pony Friendship is Magic.
And some of the females like to also call themselves Pegasisters. I don't know if Moon would go by Pegasist or by Brony. Them have their own way about it, but Pegasist or Brony, I'm cool with both.
Yeah, I generally prefer to be called Brony instead of Pegasister, but I don't begrudge anyone who ever calls me that, so.
No, funny enough, I only found out the term Pegasister, I think only a couple of weeks ago, because I'd consider myself more a Brony than that, because I'm not really keen on the name Pegasister, to be honest. But like you said, it's whatever floats everyone's boat. What do you think of the Brony community?
Talented. It's amazing, how many friends I've gained along the way, being a part of Everfree Network and being part with Dusty and, meeting so many amazing people. There's musicians, there's artists, there's all sorts of people that have got together because of this cartoon and made themselves known, and I'm so glad to be a part of it.
Go ahead, Moon.
I'd say I definitely love this community. I've made so many more friends, and it's even inspired me with all the art and music, and it's just been incredibly inspiring for me and really pushed me forward. Helped me meet so many people and get me on certain projects, and it's been a real great community. I think constantly growing and very inspiring community.
I love the community. I love everything that goes on in between, from the creativity and all types of creativity, from 3D objects, 2D objects, to music, to and the community charity organizations that are out there. A lot of good has been done by people coming together because of this cartoon. Organizations that are out there. A lot of good has been done by people coming together because of this cartoon.
Yeah, because I watched the Brony documentary recently, and I have to say, especially with the charity, it's really well done in regards to everyone coming together and joining to help other charities. I think it's remarkable. It's brilliant.
We actually do that on our show. We've gone to every guest that comes on our program gets to choose a charity, and we beat that drum to try to get people to give a one latte a week worth of money to a guest charity. So.
Oh, that's cool.
We've almost cracked $10,000 between all the different charities that we've done.
That's awesome. That's really good. That is awesome. What do you think of the popularity of My Little Pony?
Love it. Sit back and look at it this way. Look at the world today, and the problems it has, and the fights that are happening between human beings, between different nationalities, between just people on the street. There was a report in somebody was beaten almost to death at a baseball game for wearing a Yankees baseball hat. Why would that happen? Okay. I think we need more things like My Little Pony world, other than two stupid idiots trying to beat somebody to death because he wore a Yankees hat.
So what? Go on, sorry.
You have an opinion.
Go ahead. Screwball?
I lost track.
Oh, that's okay.
That's just right here.
Okay. No problem. So why has it become popular, especially for males?
I don't think it became popular just especially because of males. It became popular because it's good. I mean, anything becomes popular because it's good. If it's well written and well animated, it's going to become popular. I mean, I can't say that about Dragon Ball Z because it's popular even in spite of those things. But
it's the message.
It's the message. I think the message that needs to be said, and the message today that needs to be said is said by My Little Pony, and people are now wanting to they're tired of war, and they're tired of angry, and they're tired of being depressed, and they're tired of being scared because your government tells you have to be scared. You don't have to be scared. You go and do what you want to as long as you don't hurt anybody else, and everything can be a good time.
Yeah, I think it's the same messages we hear all the time, but they've put it in such a format and done it in such a good way, in a well-written way, that it actually kind of, it speaks louder than before, and we kind of are more prone to listening than just letting it go because it was, we're used to hearing it so many times.
And when the media or when people hear about full-grown men watching the show, they fights start, that sort of thing. When they hear like a girl or a lady watching it, it doesn't really seem to, really tick people off as much. When it comes to a full-grown male like Dusty watch this show, everyone just red flags fly up, and they're like, "Whoa, what the heck?"
Funnily enough, that leads on to nicely onto my next question, which is, why do you think people have bad personifications of bronies?
Because of human stereotypes. Basically, if you look at everything that's gone on in popular media within the last 34 years, men are supposed to be action heroes. You're supposed to be Sylvester Stallone or Arnold Schwarzenegger and shooting guns and killing bad guys and all this other kind of stuff. You're not supposed to have feelings. You're not supposed to cry. You're not supposed to, do any of that stuff. So as a male of the species, you're supposed to be this, and this, and TV and movies and music and all that keeps driving it into the human subconscious that that's what a man is. When really it isn't. So, with popular media telling the world what a man is supposed to be, when somebody cracks that and does something that's not quote unquote socially acceptable to be a man, then all of a sudden you get a lot of people going, well, you can't be a man because you're not doing what, society tells me what a man is. Well, poppycock to that, I'm going to do what the hell I want to. What is manly, to do what society tells you to do, or to stand up to society and say, fuck off.
And it does go as far as name calling to the most serious I've ever heard as being a pedophile or that sort of thing. Society just can't seem to accept that this change or something.
Yeah, and people just seem to view anything that goes outside of even normal demographics. Adults are just like adult shows, and little kids are just like cartoons. And then of course when that crosses over, people start viewing as strange and not normal. And I mean, I think too, of course, people they have they go on the internet, have a bad experience with someone, or they see stuff but they don't know the context behind it, and they don't bother to look it up, so they kind of go with any kind of negative media they may have heard and just kind of stick with that without ever digging deeper and trying to figure out what it's really about.
It's much easier to parrot what everyone else is saying than actually make up your mind.
That's what seems to happen. It's sort of they don't try to give it a go. They kind of we'll just jump on the bandwagon, it's not good, and blah blah blah, pitchforks and fire torches and whatnot. So yeah.
Yep.
Is there a particular fandom you like that spawned from My Little Pony in regards to music or new characters?
Spawned from it?
Yeah. So like Doctor Who's, for example?
Oh, well, I like Doctor Who before Pony, so it's sort of like a big circle that comes back to Pony. Doctor Who went back to Doctor Who. So, being a sci-fi fan from years ago, it's pretty cool. And actually, if you catch the Lyra, Lyra thinks that humans exist. That she's always about wanting hands. Well, basically, it's sort of, humans are science fiction to ponies. So therefore, you have a science fiction genre within the Pony universe, if you want to call it that.
I love how the fandom has taken background ponies and turned them into their own story, and everyone comes to the point of believing that's actually how they are, because the show's not going to put light into those characters, so we put light in our own way. But, I have a lot of friends who aren't into pony, but they are, Dr. Whovians, I think they call themselves, right?
Yep.
And, they know I'm into My Little Pony, so when they will always get the reference, from a brony somewhere. It's like, oh, Doctor Who reference and that sort of thing, and they come to me and they would sometimes ask, what, is there really, like, Doctor Who references in the show? I'm like, oh yeah, there's a bunch. From the music to the characters, there's a lot of awesome references, not just Doctor Who, but like Batman to Big Lebowski, to all sorts of amazing shows that you gotta sometimes have to really pay close attention to actually get. Like the hardest one I've ever seen was Harry Potter, because I've seen someone pinpointed that there's a Harry Potter pony right in the background in a particular episode. I can't remember which one, but I was like, wow.
Well, the craziest thing is you're sitting there watching it, and all Twilight Sparkle and Spike are being chased around town to a version of Yakety Sax. So basically there's a Benny Hill reference in a pony. In Benny Hill, in a pony? I mean, come on. Benny Hill was about as naughty as you could get on British.
Oh, definitely, yes.
All the references, I mean, it's, not only has Pony itself have so many references to other shows within it, but the fandom itself has gone out and taken every other kind of fandom and absorbed it into its own. So with the Doctor Who's and
the furry fandom.
Yeah.
You just can't go to a comic convention of some sort without seeing Pony at it now. It's next to impossible.
No, that's very true. The last event here in the UK was our version of Comic-Con, and literally everywhere there were loads of people dressed up as ponies, which I really love. It's brilliant that you can express that, and no one really minds, to be honest. It's just brilliant.
Yeah.
Now this might cause a bit of a fallout, I'm not sure, but a while back they had a campaign because of Derpy, because of I don't know, it was in regards to
there was some fight, I guess you could say, as people were saying that Derpy was sort of making fun of mentally disabled people and that sort of thing. And it's when that episode came out on the last roundup showing Derpy, her voice, the way she acted, that sort of thing. Just a very few people that have contact, like things for like Hasbro and other people that, she's making fun of the disabled and that sort of thing. They sort of, like, we don't want that to be a part of our show, and they decide to sort of like take her out. And the fandom considers her to kind of be like their baby, their pony. So when she was like, they end up changing her voice, they end up redoing the episode on that part. They changed her voice into more girly, and they also got rid of the guys, that sort of thing. And it really flared a lot of anger in our fandom more than anything else. It really has.
Well, it came down to this, okay? The show is that it's okay to be different. It's okay to be, it's okay to be something that's not, the same as everything and everybody else. And Hasbro, people took what Hasbro did as bowing to pressure to make her the same as everybody else instead of being proud of being different. And that didn't sit with a lot of fans. And it still doesn't stay with a lot of fans. I mean, it is what it is, and being who I am, I can understand why Hasbro did it. But it might have been more of a statement, basically say, no, we're not going to change her because that's not what was intended. And you people need to, not put your problems onto a cartoon and then, be angry about it. Look at the cartoon for what it is instead of putting, your perceived notions of what you thought we did into being angry when it's not what we did, and we'll tell you it's not what we did. But Hasbro, balked at it and made the change, and there's nothing you can do about it. So.
That's it.
They also managed to take her out for future episodes, and they even wanted to recolor Derpy, but the artist went up and said no. No, we're not doing that. That's far enough as to go. And I don't know if it's true or not. This has been a rumor of the artist still sometimes managed to plop in Derpy into certain scenes, like the season finale, season 3. You see her like 4 or 5 times, probably even more. You see her in the background, and she even gives like a wink to the audience, that sort of thing. It's like everyone's all crazy for that, but I don't know if season 4 is going to have her back or not. I do not know. I loved season 2 when they had her, because it was like, where's Waldo? You just look around and she would pop up in the most unlikely places, like from a chicken coop or from in a well or something like that. And it's like, it made it so enjoyable. I loved season 2 for that reason. And, but it is sad that they got rid of her.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I think I remember hearing that they said after they had, after the episode where she spoke, had aired, that actually the writers had, like, I don't remember the exact numbers, but I think close to what I heard, for like every 10 negative emails they received almost about 200 positive ones of people, cheering, thanking for her having a voice, getting to speak, and I think more people, didn't really think of Derpy as being, different in any kind of bad way. People liked her there because she was different, and people very much respected her. And I know after they took her out and changed her, that, a lot of the community, started drawing, very emotional art and writing very emotional songs about, how, people liked her and felt very sad that, she got changed.
Yeah, because I remember the video they put up on YouTube of Please Save Me, and that broke my heart. It really did.
Oh my god, I cried. I cried so hard.
I cried as well when I watched
it. Like that animation, who did it? I think it was, I can't remember who did it. The animation of her like crying, and they played that island piano music in the background. I was just like, no, this isn't happening.
The fields, you're attacking the fields. Yeah,
it was good. The fields alright.
What are your thoughts on a couple of things? One, what's your thoughts on Equestria Girls and Twilight becoming an alicorn?
Yeah, I'll go for Twilight the Alicorn first. It did not bother me in the slightest. I love how it was like all these seasons came down to what's her actual purpose, and I love that. I was kind of a little angry on the whole spoilers. Everyone cannot stop talking about it, and honestly, the episode would have been so much better if I did not know about it. And then bam, next thing you know, she springs out wings. I would have had a 10 times better reaction than I currently have. But she was it was a good change. I can't wait to see what they're going to do with it in season 4. It's almost like a to be continued feel to it. When it comes to Equestria Girls, I don't know why people are attacking on it. I really don't. Sure they're humanizing them and all that sort, but it's not like they're changing the series completely. It's only going to be one movie. I know that the writers definitely have something planned with it. I want to see what they can pull it off, because there's so many times where people have attacked the show certain ideas, like Cadence the Alicorn, or of course Twilight trained an Alicorn, the wedding, Discord becoming a good guy, that sort of thing. Everyone has been attacking it, but as soon as it happens, people give it the thumbs up, and it's like, you know what, we were wrong. We thought this is actually pretty darn good. And I safe to say I would be the first in line to see Equestria Girls. I'm really excited what the writers can do with it. I want to see how it'll pull off. So.
Go ahead.
I admit when it came to, Twilight becoming Alicorn, at the moment I heard it, I had that kind of knee-jerk reaction of, no, they're changing the dynamic, but I took a breath, I paused for a moment, and I went, okay, there's no reason for me to dislike this, I don't know where they're going with it, and they'll probably go somewhere really good with it. And, once I said just give it a chance, I gave it a chance, they showed the episode, and I was like, this looks really good, and I think, like Screwball said, I'm very interested to see where they take this. And that's kind of the same with Equestria Girls, is that, you have that initial reaction that, they're changing things. You don't want to see things change. I can understand people get afraid sometimes because they think, well, change means it might go wrong. And, nobody wants to see their favorite series, go the wrong way. But, even with Equestria Girls, I've put myself in that position of, I'm going to wait to see it before I make any kind of judgment on it. And they've said it's not even canon to the series, so even if, it's not as good as the series, it's not going to have an effect on it. So, it's just like, going to kind of sit down and enjoy the ride.
Yeah, pretty much. That's where I'm coming from with Equestria Girls. It's like, okay, the character designs are a little bit, you've gone in the way of Bratz and you went in the way of Monster High. I know what they're trying, I know what Hasbro's trying to do. As a company, that's what Hasbro has to do, is they have to come up with something to fight against those two properties. So let's do something with a very popular title. Let's do this. I'm sure that people at Hasbro have gone out into the internet, even though they say they don't, to see a lot of humanized pony art out there. There's tons of it. So they're going, hey, let's make human ponies and let's do a movie and let's do this. So let's give it a shot. Let's sit back, relax, have a beer, watch a movie, and then have an informed opinion as to whether we like it or not. And as for Alicorn Twilight, I applaud the move because, okay, you need something to drive the story. So basically, there's tons of things now you can write with Twilight being Alicorn. The story ideas just come out of like a waterfall. So let's do something new and awesome. Stories drive themselves by controversies. Stories drive themselves by something interesting. Well, now you've got something interesting to play off of. So let's do it. Let's find out what the writers can do with Twilight being Alicorn. Is somebody going to be writing letters to her? How is she going to deal with it? It's like, oh my God, now somebody's writing letters to me. There's a whole episode right there. Come on. Let's have some fun with it.
One thing I just recalled for Equestria Girls. A lot of people have been attacking it for being a stereotypical high school kind of thing. People are going to believe that it's going to be girl meets hunk of a guy at the high school. There's going to be that bully. It's going to have that like High School Musical kind of feel to it. It does really make you question, is this actually going to be good or not? But I believe that the writers, that the staff of the show have something bigger planned than just that, and I want to see how they'll pull it off.
Yeah, because I don't think we're going to have it here in the UK. I don't know if it's going to be released as a movie or it's just going to come on TV as a special. Probably might do.
It will. It's going to be for Blu-ray and DVD.
Fair enough then, yeah. Now this might be a difficult one. Who is your favourite pony?
I already know Screwball.
Mine is Fluttershy without doubt. I'll put this into two categories. There's Fluttershy for the main characters, and then there's your background pony. And my personal favorite background pony would have to be Octavia, because I love orchestral, and every time I see her, I just like, wow, I'm sure she loves the same music I do.
For me, my favorite main six is Rainbow Dash, as by the tattoo on my arm of Rainbow Dash. And my favorite background pony is Shirley. So, we dated in high school.
Just got to throw it on.
I used I used to be able to answer this question very easily so long ago, but it's like, now it's become so impossible for me that I know it's going on, but, I'd say, I don't even know out of the main six who I could pick. It's changed so many times as I've got to know each pony it's changed. But I mean, for maybe even not the main six. I mean, I've got two background ponies that I tend to pick as my fave. I mean, I've got Vinyl Scratch, and Vinyl Scratch and Octavia both tattooed on me. And then so Vinyl Scratch and probably the other pony would be Berry Punch. I just think she's quite an interesting character, and everyone kind of gives her one idea of what she might be like. I think there's more to her, so.
Oh yeah.
I think I was the same. I started off like in Rainbow Dash, and then I've switched like Screwball. I like Fluttershy now. But it always, that's it. Derpy is my background character as my favourite. Obviously there's been growing rise in the show, and now they've had the convention. So you have BronyCon in New York, and we have our own PonyCon here in the UK. Have you ever been to them? And well, obviously you have, but what do you think of them?
Love them. I love going to cons. I've been going to cons for different types of fandoms for probably 20 plus years. So I've lost track of how many cons I've gone to. Love going to conventions for just about anything, because it's a place where you can see all of your friends that you don't get to see all year. I mean, I love spending time with Screwball, which we don't get to do unless we're at a convention. And then going to see all of the voice actors, going to see all of the people that come that watch our show and love to meet us. And it's humbling that people would come up to me and ask me for an autograph or picture or something like that, just because of what I do. I mean, it's really great to go to a convention and see all these people and have such a great time.
You can go, man.
I really like the conventions. Last year was my very first convention ever, and I made it a Milo Pony convention, which was Galacon in Germany. And I loved it a lot. And so, I'm going to be going to Buck this year, which is in the UK, so, I'm definitely looking forward to that. So my first con experience was a good one to make me want to definitely go to more.
I would have to say what Dusty says, is that I love going to conventions to see Dusty and to see all my friends, being able to even see the people that we've interviewed, like Andrew Francis and Lee and Peter and so many of the guys, and getting to see them face to face and having a good time with everyone. It's like I'm mainly in it to go to just see friends, and sure I go to the panels and that sort of thing, but the main attraction is to get to see all the people that I've got to know because of this fandom, and couldn't ask for more. It's been awesome.
Cool. And finally, what would you like to say to someone who has heard about MLP, might be interested, and might consider watching it?
I say approach it with an open mind. Don't come in with any preconceived notion of what you think My Little Pony is. Sit down with your favorite beverage and commit to watching more than watch like 3. And then come to an informed decision on whether you like it or not. And it's not for everybody. Not everybody. They're going to like it. But given an open mind and watching enough of it, you'll come up with your own opinion.
Yeah. It always depends on what episode you start people for Dusty when he started as the first two episodes of season 1, that's a hard one to start on. I'm surprised, because a lot of people who've watched that, I know many friends who started off there and they were thinking, man, I don't know yet. Better ones to go for be like less than 0 and ones that can appeal to someone else instantly, and they'll be thinking, what? There's no way that the show's actually like this. There's so much comedy. There's so much that an adult would like. That's not like the show's not just for kids. There's always an adult appeal to it. There's always something that catches on. I know like parents who watch it with their kids, and they honestly are just as excited as them to sit down and watch it with them. Never like shove it down someone's throat. Like you gotta watch this, because I know a lot of people who do that, and that's such a turn off for a lot of people who have been thinking of trying to get into it. Just say if you ever have free time, just have a go. Exactly what Justin says. Have an open mind and make your own opinion and see what you think.
Yeah, it's like, definitely give it a chance. I mean, especially with the first two episodes, that's where I started out. First season was already halfway through when I started watching, but I started from the beginning. And the first couple episodes are a little bit sugary, but I mean, as the season goes on, you kind of tell the writers are starting to really kind of get into the groove of the show. And like I say, there's plenty of little adult references that are hidden in there, and mythological references, little kids and such like that exactly get. And there's, definitely things for adults in there too. So just kind of go in there kind of blank, and then watch several episodes, and then definitely take it from there. Usually after a few episodes, many people who are very interested will definitely continue on.
One of my friends, Jacob, who's actually the guy that fixed my computer that I just managed to get home and back up and running. I would have missed this episode. I would miss this interview if it wasn't for that guy. So, but I always tell him about ponies and that sort of thing. And he said he will not get into it because he knows for a fact that he'll love it, and he knows that it will just take over him. Because I know he loves animes, he loves that sort of thing, and those alone have been such an impact on his life that he feels he doesn't have enough time to have another show amongst them. But he always says things like, I can't do it, Screwball. It's not. It will just take over me.
I've known several people who've said, I'm not like this show. I'll sit down and watch it, I'm not gonna like it. And then a day or so later, they come back to me and go, okay, I'm a brony now.
Awesome. And that's it. Thank you very much to Moon, Dusty and Screwball for joining me for the Anime UK show. Could you please remind us where we can find you and your work for our listeners?
Certainly. You can find me and Screwball Monday evenings or on replays on YouTube on Everfree.net. The show is called Stay Brony, my friends.
Also, don't forget our website at manliestbrony.com. You can check out the charities. You can check out our shows around there and our blogs. And yeah, it's definitely something to go for.
Videos, blogs, charity work, all at manliestbrony.com.
And you can easily find me on easiest place is DeviantArt, which would be Moon Sango, Sango. And that's usually where I post most of our art, or on Twitter under the same name. So
Moon has some adorable art.
Lovely art. I'm gonna interject one thing. Okay. That I do watch anime, but mine's from the 70s. Okay. If you want to know where anime came from, Mako Go and Science Ninja Team Gotchaman.
Sweet.
Go find those out.
Brilliant. Thank you very much.
You're welcome, guys.
And thank you again to Moon, Dusty and Screwball for that wonderful interview.
So greetings. Do you have any original characters you've designed of any ponies at all?
Only in my actual LC, and that would be Greetings. Basically, back when I first joined UK of E, it was my actual, my anniversary was actually only, I think it was about 5 days ago that I joined. 1 year ago, 5 days ago. Basically, I started up wanting to get more likes, because I thought, you know what, these people have thousands of likes, I haven't even got 2, and I need to get some of these trophy points for some weird reason. So I started wishing people happy birthday, welcoming in new members, and after a while I decided, you know what, it's actually quite fun doing this, and I started doing it for every single person, making sure at the end of each night I go down, go to this quickly, go through the members, and make sure no one new has joined. I mean, overall, I've easily welcomed about 500 bronies into the fandom, and into UK Equestria at least, and a few thousand birthday wishes. And it's just quite a bit of fun to do. And the annoying part is, I got a small welcome song, and I've posted it, copied and pasted it so many times, I can remember it off by heart. It's actually very annoying.
Tell us, sing it to us.
Oh god, give me a sec. Just getting it up now. Because I actually posted I actually changed it because the old one was annoying me quite a bit. So I changed it. Okay, welcome to UK of E. There is much fun to be had, just wait and see. Forum games and randomness, the artist's corner. Lots of My Little Pony stuff, plus the confirmed event meetups. Just wait and see that we are a lot of fun, so please enjoy yourself, explore and get to know everyone. Now you're part of our herd, there is one more thing you should know. Bronies help bronies, so you're not alone.
Aww, that's nice.
Oh, that's cool.
Thank you.
Well, yeah,
I'm not a very sincere person. Maybe that's the wrong word.
It's nice that you guys are very, very welcoming to everybody instead of, I know that in some fandoms, people can be a bit snooty and all that kind of stuff. If you don't like the same thing, you're not welcomed and all that kind of stuff. But it's nice that you're welcoming.
Yeah, one of the things one of my friends posts is always, which is your favourite pony? It doesn't really matter what you answer, because whatever you answer, we go support you nonetheless.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. I'm glad.
And it's cool that you guys are really active, actually, on the forums. There's always people posting and stuff, because, you find sometimes the boards die after a while.
Oh yeah, our board is completely active all the time, non-stop.
Yeah.
The best part is the meetups. We have the Brony L2 meetup, I'm sure you've heard of the L2 cinema. Yeah. And must have, you live in London. Basically we have a meetup there once a month. It's literally the most regular Brony meet in the world.
I did hear about this last weekend. Someone did tell me about this and I thought, ooh, that's quite good.
Yeah, and if you do go there for your first time or whenever you go, I'll welcome you with a sack of bonbons. I quite literally mean that. Even though I'm diabetic, I carry a giant jar of bonbons around with me and wherever I go to make sure to give them out to new members.
Oh.
It cost me a freaking fortune, but damn worth it. So far my bonbon fund's gone about £120 this year.
Oh, wow.
It's worth it though.
So greetings, have you seen the Brony documentary from John Delancey?
Yes, I saw it on the third day of its release.
And what do you think?
Well, there's a really split there. I mean, there's 30% that say, of the fandom that says I like it, and there's the 70% that says it's okay, but it didn't really do the fandom justice. And there's probably 90% of the fandom that pirated it, and honestly, I have to honestly say I was one of them. Because from what I heard, I wasn't really willing to spend £60 for shipping.
Whoa, that much?
You what?
Well, technically it's the shipping and cost of the DVD. If you wanted to buy the DVD, it was around £60 in total.
Blimey.
Yep. Or maybe it was $60.
Only an hour and a half as well.
Yeah, well that, and if you wanted to download it, it was still $20, and I was like, nah, money's money. It's money. I mean, technically in the brony eyes, money equals pony plushies, but still.
Now you gotta eat.
Screw eating, I need more plushies. Yeah, thank God for Build-A-Bear, they really helped us out.
I was just about to say, because they've brought in Rainbow Dash and Pinkie Pie.
Yes, they brought in Rainbow Dash and Pinkie Pie, and the next ones are Twilight and Spike. And everyone's saying Spike's not a pony, what were you thinking? Anyway, the documentary. I actually know about 3 of the characters and 3 of the people that were shown there, including Laser Pony. And the guy that went, just a random guy with the disabled problems like I have as well, disabilities. I've met him once as well during one of the meetups. basically, the way it didn't do fandom justice is it actually didn't go into enough into the fan-generated content. It focused more on the lines of the relationships between kids and their parents, and how they've developed and why they went to the fandom in the first place. And really should have developed more onto the point of what we have done. I mean, we took something that was generally a general form of advertisement from Hasbro. Actually, the pony fandom did start off originally as a form of advertisement, if you think about it. And we turned it into something much, much more. And we continue to do so. And just going into detail about just like for pony fans and just their lives doesn't really do the fandom justice at all. I mean, it's like taking a picture of a mushroom and claiming it's an avocado.
Lies.
Yes. We say nay to your lies. Okay, shall we move on there? I'll actually say now, I've got to give credit to John Delancey. He's an amazing guy and he has done a lot for the fandom.
I think I remember in the documentary he said he didn't even realise that he was voicing for My Little Pony until people started emailing him saying, "Oh, thank you for doing this," and blah blah blah. And then he basically said, "Why are they writing this?" And he said, "Oh, it's because you voiced in My Little Pony." Say what? You know?
Wow, really didn't know what he was auditioning for.
Well, if you think about it, I mean, when you go from being Hugh to being Discord, you literally have gone through the process of being just an evil mastermind to being the form and figure of chaos. So technically, his schedule must be completely all over the place for him to actually be in his persona. I mean, if you want to get into your persona these days, you really have to go the extra mile and end up looking like a persona. And John Delancey's done a great job of that.
I was just, it was the perfect choice, really, because it's Q, but in the pony form, really.
Well, Draconicus, but yes.
Yeah.
The other bit I have to say is if we're talking about Discord, is just his design. His design is oozing with aesthetic appeal. It's just so amazing. And I gotta say, if you haven't watched the series, maybe start off in the second series first, because if you want to see a great opening, that's the one you want to see. Any more questions about the documentary? Maybe where it's filmed or Buck in general?
Well, I know the documentary, it was split between America, the UK, Germany.
Yeah, Capcom.
Yeah. And Israel as well?
Yes, Israel. And the Living Tombstone's in there. One of forefronting pony musicians. He was going to his first Brony convention, which was Brocon, if I think that's right. He is just an amazing person, doing it not for the profit, but for the love of the fandom and for the love of making music. That's what people should really be inspired to. If they want some people have actually asked, what do you have to do to become famous in the Brony community? The truth is, you don't become famous in the Brony community. Become more loved. You find people who you connect to, and you find friends you can connect to. And if people follow you, that's generally what you get. So you don't have to go the extra mile and become famous for it. You just do it for what you want to do.
Yeah, because he did like recordings every week, didn't he, of specific songs? And the Living Discord is probably the biggest one. Discord
has to be his biggest one. Yeah. Saying that, he recently done a song with PB Pony called Daily Discord. It's a remake of a opera form of a song called Daily Discord. And it's just an amazing song. If you haven't checked it out, probably go and do so. In fact, maybe put a link to you right here. And there's a link. Any more questions along the subject?
I think we'd be more interested to find out what's going on the coming up Buck.
Ah, Buck. Well, many people who haven't heard of it, are you bucking mad? Seriously, you haven't heard of Buck?
To be fair, I don't think a lot of people have.
Well, in honesty, I'm ashamed to say one of my relatives, who recently came out saying she's a brony, she didn't know anything about Buck until I posted it on her profile. I was like, kidding me, and you call yourself a brony? She asked me, when she first became a brony, she asked me what are the names of the 3 Cutie Mark Crusaders. And this was after the fourth Cutie Mark Crusader, Babsies was theirs, and I was like, 3 Cutie Mark Crusaders? I don't know what you're talking about. And she was just perplexed, and I have to say, brony? More brony.
Brony in training.
Brony in training. Anyway,
Well, it's the biggest Brony convention in Europe, right?
yes, Buck is the biggest Brony convention in Europe, and with the most guests and attendees. We have, you know what, I really should have said what I said about Discord. I mean, John Delancey, because he's attending. He's going to be looking for me. I'm just imagining him coming down with a, harpoon aimed at my face. Anyway, actually, it'd probably be more like a pig with wings and a bazooka. Why bazooka? Because bazookas are awesome. Anyway, let's get back to the topic. Yeah, we have so many guests, so many guests this year. It's actually, I'm just going to get the page up quickly. The community guest listed so far are The Living Tombstone, The Wooden Toaster, Acoustic Brony, Laser Pond 3, Rainbow Crash 88, Pipsqueak, he's also a member of my team, Nighty, Draw Ponies, Ellie Monty, Wreck, Lavender Harmony, Tia the Pony, Blaze, Celestial Radio, Clutterviv X, Masco X, Sketchy Sounds, Ponyfied PMP, Urban Meadows, Project Awakening, Icky, Underpony, Speed Core Dave, Yami Bonja, I can't even pronounce the name, sorry. Galaxy Art, Bronified, Legends of Equestria, Addicted, Blaze, and DJ Zaba. And funny thing is, I've actually met about half the people here at least once before, either online or in person.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, having been in the retailers has a few benefits, mainly the fact I'm probably mentally insane. I said probably.
Yeah, Masco X, yeah, that name rang a bell, but I know him, so.
Which one? Wait, which one did you say?
Masako X.
Yeah, he's fairly well known.
Yeah.
I may have heard about him at least at one point.
Very, very friendly guy.
True, I have to say Acoustic Brony. You may not know this, but Acoustic Brony is actually two people. Eddie and Jimmy. I've met them both in about 3 meetups in the past now, and I have to say, they both are truly epic. I mean, great voices, great singing, and they love doing what they do. As well as Ellie Monty, I've actually met her twice as well. She has such an angelic voice. I cannot express how perfect her voice is. It's like hearing angels sing in the choir.
Aww.
Actually, even better yet, this is a better description for you. I'm just going to turn that on my mic, yeah? This is what it's like. That's what it's like.
Oh, I'm shy.
Okay, any more questions on the subject of Buck, maybe? Like maybe just generally known people, friends, or anything like that?
Will you guys be trying to get any of the voice actors over? Apart from John Delancey, obviously.
I'm sure they have. I'm actually not part of the Buck crew, but from what I'm guessing, I know they've actually trying to get some people to attend via video chats.
Oh.
John Delancey being one of them, I think, actually. We do have a guest writer, Amy Keating Rogers. Oh, and Megan McCarthy's just been added by the looks of it. Megan McCarthy has done quite a few shows and is fairly well known for the Cupcake song and becoming popular. And the episode Dragon Shy and the Cancelot Weddings. And the Perfect Stallion even, that's quite a good list.
It is, actually, yeah.
Are you actually a fan of the show?
I am. Yeah.
Yeah,
I've just got into it. I'm watching the first season.
Yeah.
I watched some of it, but I can't get into it. I can. No, I like the aesthetics of the show a lot. I just can't get into it for some reason. I usually like cute things, but I just can't. I tried.
It's probably the plot line, because for honesty, the major driving point for me when I went into the fandom is I was actually really depressed due to all the anime I was watching. I mean, for anyone like me who actually likes a really dark plot, I was watching so much dark anime that my mind was just got me in a complete state of depression over like a month. And eventually I had to stumble in saying much cuter, much nicer, and I went from being like, ugh, to being like, yay.
The Fluttershy stuff.
Have you ever done a Fluttershy yay? You haven't lived.
Hold on. Yay. There you go.
Most unenthusiastic voice ever.
That's what she does, honestly.
It is literally what she does.
That's what she does when I think one of the characters encourages her. She just goes, yay, louder, yay, louder. Yay! That's all she does. I've actually met the voice actress of Fluttershy. She is exactly the same as Fluttershy. She's really shy.
Aww.
She's really cute.
I mean, basically, I'm just so shy. That's basically it.
Aww.
I don't want to get any hate for that. I love Fluttershy. She is my favourite pony, by the way. Don't give me any hate for that. I'm just joking.
Do you have a personal favourite pony?
As I said, Fluttershy has to be
Fluttershy.
that or Pinkie Pie.
Background? Secondary character?
Background, if you haven't said Doctor Who's or Derpy, I can't give you a pat on the back. I mean, anything cooler than the Time Lord pony fight? I think not.
I'll go now.
You don't like Doctor Who?
Oh no, I do. I love that. I do actually like the Doctor Who's and Derpy.
Yeah.
That's how I kind of went into fandom.
You've just said it for me, Harriet. That's what I wanted to ask. How do you feel about the whole Derpy scandal?
Well, Derpy scandal. You mean, I wouldn't say it's a scandal so much, just a lot of fans got really attached to her. She was a mascot of sorts, like Rainbow Dash.
But they got rid of her! They got rid of her!
Actually, they didn't get rid of her. She's still in the series. You just got to look really carefully in the background.
Yeah, there is a hide and seek story. I was told this, that in the interview, people are literally, I can see her, she's there, throughout the next, season 2 and season 3.
Yeah.
So it says she might be back for season 4.
Yeah, in season 3, she's actually constantly in the background behind ponies and stuff like that. You actually really have to look in the season 3 final for her. She popped up around 14 times, I think the count was. The thing is, I didn't even notice her throughout the whole time. And
where's Wally, Rick?
Yeah.
Where's Wally? She is the Where's Wally. She's Wally of the pony world, basically. And she even has better eyes and coordination. Funnily enough. Going. I mean, she's basically, here's Derpy, not where's Wally. That's basically it.
You've created a game recently called Outflanks. Could you explain more about it?
Well, not created. It's in development.
Oh.
Basically, it's a Brony-based card game, which has a new style of gameplay, unlike other card games seen before it. It also has, it's also going to be, hopefully, once we've fully developed it, a multiplayer online game. We're going to start off by by showcasing a book so we can finalise the card design. And then from there, we're going to be creating, 500 cards. But the only way we can get around to doing this is if artists from the community, as well as random people who've had their LCs drawn, submit their LCs so we can put numbers and stats to them. Every LC given to us will be referenced and linked to their page. But basically, the new game does have a new gameplay style, unlike other card games seen before it, due to what I like to call the revolutionary term, I think, wartime gameplay. And it also has other random little bits and bobs there. Well, I mean, that's much I'm willing to say about that at the moment, because a lot of it's going to be saved for buck. Something I can tell you about, though, at the moment, is the synopsis, or at least a shortened version of the synopsis, what we've been working on for the game. Would you like to hear that?
Yes, go for it.
Okay, the legend of love and tolerance. There are once two great kingdoms. One was ruled by Prince Love, and the other one ruled by Princess Tolerance. One had the kingdom of tolerance always had a saying. The kingdom of love always had a saying, always attack and never turn your back. Whereas the kingdom of tolerance always had a saying, always defend, then you may survive in the end. With the natural indifference between kingdoms, it was natural that they would have a clash in emotions and emotions and ignorance. Due to this, they eventually their ignorance broke out into war. For many moons it continues until the war did actually break out with the kingdoms, and the two kingdoms arranged to have their war and settlements in a canyon called Outflanks Canyon. The war before the day the war took place, two letters were sent to both kingdoms to the rulers. Where the letters came from, nobody knows, but they eventually they stopped the war from happening. The letters said that they both wanted to duel, basically, to save the lives of many people, countless victims. The duel was held at Outflanks Canyon during the rising of the sun. As soon as the glow hit their armour, they charged each other with all their mights. As soon as their weapons clashed, both of them inexplicably broke and shattered, even though they were brand new, as if fate was twisting around them. At this time, the sun and moon shined upon them, and granted them and giving them the two elements and virtues of the virtues of love and tolerance. This allowed them to embrace each other in a form of romance not seen before. And as the two rulers combined their powers, they created harmony across the land, banishing all evil and hatred that was once there and present. Once the two rulers had died, the virtues they possessed were sealed away, and six guardians were placed to always protect their virtues until the next bearers showed themselves. And it's been 2,000 years since this all took place. And Rising Son of Honor of the new event, a group of interpreted individuals have taken and created a game based on the Great Battle of Grand Canyon. Upon the game's completion, there shall be a competition that shall be held to announce its release. And that's basically it.
And what will the competition be for?
That's the game. That's the actual game. There's a competition being released, and it's like you have to sign up in the game. It's basically kind of like a plotline kind of thing.
Oh, right.
Yeah. I mean, really, we've got to reword that a little bit, but other than that, it sounds fine. But I'm just literally skimming through the text. The text is actually 2 pages long. Oh, wow. And hopefully we'll have a celebrity voice giving us the lovely and angelic lowdown.
Cool, and it's going to be an online game. You have to purchase it online?
No, you will not have to purchase it, but we ask that you will donate £1 when you enter it, so we can raise money for charity.
Okay, and then you'd have to pay for DLC, of course. Yes,
we'll be releasing 2 DLC packs. We'll literally change the game and tip on its head, making it more strategic and harder to play. At the same time, fairly simple as well. And we'll also be releasing monthly. We'll be releasing 10 new cards every month, including the cards you can get in the game, but the 10 cards released once a month are literally only for that month, and you can only get them that way by purchasing them. And we may even have some celebrity voices come in to allow you to taunt the other players.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Can you imagine John Delancey? You lose! How unfortunate for you!
And how can we follow your progress, since I see you don't have a website?
Well, we'll have a website around the end of June, start of July. But for now, you can follow me on UK of Equestria, and just by following my page, Greetings, my profile is. Or you can follow me via Equestria Daily, because the first time you're probably going to be hearing of us is either at Buck or on Equestria Daily. We're going to be making our initial posts on there, and everything will be continuing from that point on.
And you're still looking for people to help you on the project, so if anyone's interested, they should come say hello to you at the conventions.
Definitely. Either that or on my profile on UK of Equestria would be nice. You could also email me at ponycardmaster@hotmail.com. Da-da-da-da!
Okay, so we've come to the end of the show. Thanks so much to all our guests that we've interviewed, and Greetings, of course. You can find him on UK of Equestria forums. And don't forget to like us on Facebook and Twitter, subscribe on YouTube, Tumblr, and wearearcade.com. And you'll hear from us next week. Bye!
Bye! Take care.
www.wearearcade.com